Good morning, everyone. As the sun rises over the Atlantic, we're waking up to a day that's anything but ordinary for this vast ocean basin. The Atlantic is especially active today, Monday, September 29th, 2025, with not just one but two major weather systems drawing the attention of meteorologists and coastal communities alike along the U.S. East Coast. This level of activity isn't entirely unexpected for late September, which is often the peak of hurricane season. Still, the current setup is remarkable even by historical standards, and it's a vivid reminder of the power and unpredictability of nature. Hurricane Humberto, a powerful and well-organized storm, is churning in open waters, its massive cloud bands stretching for hundreds of miles. Meanwhile, Tropical Depression 9 is gathering strength, with forecasters expecting it to soon become Tropical Storm Imelda. Having two significant storms at once isn't rare for peak hurricane season. But what makes this situation fascinating is how these systems are interacting with each other. Their proximity means they're not just moving independently. Each is subtly influencing the other's path and intensity. This interaction creates a complex and challenging forecast for millions of people living along the coast. Small changes in one storm's track can have ripple effects, altering the trajectory and strength of the other. Earlier, there was considerable uncertainty about where Tropical Depression 9 might go. Computer models showed a wide range of possibilities, from a direct U.S. landfall to a harmless curve out to sea. Meteorologists spent hours poring over data, trying to pinpoint the most likely scenario. Now, thanks to improved data and updated models, the forecast is much clearer, and the news is overwhelmingly positive for the mainland U.S. The risk of a direct hit has dropped significantly. Both Humberto and the soon-to-be Imelda are projected to remain well offshore, keeping their strongest winds and heaviest rains far from land. This means the most dangerous impacts will stay over the open ocean, sparing coastal communities from the worst. For residents and visitors along the East Coast, this is the best-case scenario. While some coastal areas may still see higher surf, rip currents, and minor beach erosion, the threat has been reduced to manageable impacts, allowing life to continue with only minor disruptions. As we keep a close eye on the Atlantic, today brings a welcome sigh of relief for millions, reminding us of the importance of preparation and the power of timely, accurate forecasts. Let's turn our attention to one of the most impressive storms of the season, Hurricane Humberto. This massive system has captured the attention of meteorologists and storm watchers alike, not just for its sheer size, but for the speed and power with which it developed. Humberto has truly been the heavyweight champion of the Atlantic this year, dominating the open waters with its swirling, powerful winds and enormous cloud bands that stretch for hundreds of miles. Just yesterday, Humberto reached a ferocious Category 4 on the Saffir-Simpson scale, with sustained winds roaring up to 155 miles per hour. For a brief moment, it even flirted with Category 5 status, making it one of the most intense storms we've seen in recent years. The secret behind Humberto's explosive growth lies in the exceptionally warm waters of the tropical Atlantic. These warm seas provided the perfect fuel, allowing the storm to rapidly intensify from a tropical storm into a major hurricane in just a matter of hours. Favorable atmospheric conditions like low wind shear and abundant moisture also played a crucial role in its development. Now, as Humberto tracks northward, it's beginning to lose some of its strength. The hurricane is moving over cooler waters and encountering less favorable conditions, which are gradually causing it to weaken. Fortunately, it remains far from any major landmass, sparing coastal communities from its most dangerous winds and rain. The latest forecast models show Humberto's path staying safely between Bermuda and the coast of North Carolina. This means there's no direct threat to land, and residents along the East Coast can breathe a sigh of relief for now. But even though Humberto is far offshore, its massive size means it's still having a big impact. The storm is generating enormous ocean swells that are traveling hundreds of miles, reaching beaches all along the East Coast. These waves are creating dangerous rip currents and high surf, prompting warnings from local authorities. Even on days when the sun is shining and the skies are clear, the ocean can be deceptively dangerous. Lifeguards are urging everyone to pay close attention to posted warnings and to stay out of the water if conditions are hazardous. It's a reminder that the effects of a hurricane can be felt far beyond its center. In addition to its direct impacts, Humberto's powerful circulation is also influencing other weather systems nearby. It's currently steering Tropical Depression 9, helping to guide this developing storm away from the U.S. coastline and out into the open Atlantic. In a twist of meteorological irony, this mighty hurricane is actually helping to protect the coast by nudging its younger sibling out to sea. Humberto's story is a powerful reminder of nature's complexity and its ability to both threaten and shield us at the same time. Now let's turn to Tropical Depression 9, brewing over the Bahamas east of Florida. It's still disorganized, but conditions are ripe for it to strengthen quickly as it moves over the warm Gulf Stream. We expect it to become Tropical Storm Imelda soon, and likely a hurricane within 48 hours. Earlier, computer models showed a wide range of possible tracks including direct U.S. landfall. Now models agree, Imelda will curve north and then northeast, staying well offshore. This shift is thanks to atmospheric steering factors aligning perfectly to protect the U.S. mainland. It's a textbook example of how large-scale weather patterns can turn a potential disaster into a near miss. The threat of a direct hit has faded, replaced by a much less dangerous scenario. Coastal communities can breathe easier but should remain alert for any changes. The expectation that both Humberto and Imelda will remain offshore is the best news we could hope for. After days of uncertainty and anxious monitoring, meteorologists and coastal residents alike are breathing a collective sigh of relief. The threat of a direct landfall with all the destructive wind and flooding that could bring has diminished significantly. Instead, these powerful storms are now expected to churn harmlessly over the open Atlantic, sparing communities along the U.S. East Coast from the worst. Just days ago, forecasts were far more concerning, but now relief replaces anxiety along the East Coast. Beaches that were recently deserted in anticipation of severe weather are now seeing families return, children playing in the sand and locals enjoying the sunshine. The mood has shifted dramatically, with people grateful for the unexpected turn in the forecast. The main reason for this shift is a strong ridge of high pressure to the north, acting as a barrier and steering Imelda away. This invisible wall in the atmosphere is a crucial player in the story, redirecting the storm's path and preventing it from curving toward the coast. Meteorologists have been closely tracking this high-pressure system, knowing its position could mean the difference between disaster and safety. As Imelda moves north, it's deflected by this ridge, much like a ball bouncing off a wall. The storm's trajectory changes, veering away from populated areas and heading back out to sea. This kind of atmospheric interaction is a reminder of how even small shifts in weather patterns can have enormous consequences for millions of people. Humberto's presence to the northwest also creates a trough, a channel that helps pull Imelda further out to sea. This trough acts like a guiding hand, drawing the storm away from the coast and into the open ocean. The interplay between these two systems is a fascinating example of how storms can influence each other's paths, sometimes in ways that ultimately benefit those on land. The combination of the high-pressure ridge and Humberto's influence creates a perfect alleyway for Imelda to escape. It's as if the atmosphere itself has opened a door, allowing the storm to slip away without causing widespread damage. This rare alignment of weather systems is a fortunate break for the region. This atmospheric dance highlights how interconnected weather systems can steer storms away from land. Each element, the ridge, the trough, the storms themselves, plays a role in shaping the outcome. It's a complex ballet, unfolding high above our heads, that determines whether a storm becomes a disaster or just a distant spectacle. It's a fortunate coincidence of timing and positioning that has spared the U.S. East Coast from a major hurricane event. The relief is palpable, as communities that had braced for the worst now look forward to calmer days. Emergency preparations can be scaled back, and the focus shifts from response to recovery and gratitude. While some coastal effects remain, such as higher surf, rip currents, and occasional rain bands, the core of the storm will stay over open water. Mariners and beachgoers are still urged to exercise caution, but the risk of catastrophic damage has passed. For now, the worst-case scenario has been avoided. The East Coast can breathe easier, knowing that this time, nature's forces have aligned in their favor, offering a welcome reprieve from what could have been a devastating hurricane season. Even with Imelda offshore, Florida's East Coast will feel some impacts. Tropical storm warnings are up from Miami to Jacksonville, with gusty winds and heavy rain bands expected. Most areas will see stormy weather, not destructive winds. Think summer squalls, not hurricane force. Localized downpours could cause minor flooding, especially in low-lying spots. The strongest winds should remain just offshore, sparing the state from major damage. It's a near miss for Florida, but a reminder to stay vigilant during hurricane season. The Carolinas forecast has also improved dramatically. The main concern now is heavy rain, not wind or storm surge, due to a stalled front drawing in tropical moisture. A narrow corridor from Charleston to Wilmington could see 2–4 inches of rain, with localized flash flooding possible. Earlier fears of catastrophic flooding in the mountains have faded as Imelda's track shifts east. The mountains will see only scattered showers, a huge relief for vulnerable areas. The heaviest rain will stay offshore, with the main threat limited to the coastal plain. Emergency managers can now focus on a much more manageable, localized risk. The Carolinas, like Florida, have dodged a much bigger bullet. Let's break down the science behind this fortunate forecast. Hurricanes are steered by larger weather patterns. Think of them as corks floating in atmospheric currents. A strong high-pressure system over the U.S. acts as a barrier, blocking Imelda from moving west. At the same time, Humberto's circulation creates a trough, a path of least resistance that draws Imelda northeast. The push from the high and the pull from Humberto combine to steer Imelda safely out to sea. This setup is called recurvature, where a storm curves away from land. The precise timing and placement of these features is a stroke of meteorological luck. It's a reminder of how large-scale atmospheric physics can turn a potential disaster into a low-impact event. After a tense week, the forecast brings a well-deserved break. Once Humberto and Imelda exit into the North Atlantic, a strong high-pressure ridge will settle over the eastern U.S. Expect several days of sunshine, clear skies, and low humidity. A perfect early autumn stretch. This stable pattern will keep new storms at bay and offer a peaceful transition into October. Imelda may brush Bermuda, but the U.S. mainland will enjoy calm, beautiful weather. It's a welcome respite after days of uncertainty. The active weather pattern along the East Coast will shut down, replaced by tranquility. Millions can look forward to a gorgeous start to October. Looking ahead, the Climate Prediction Center's outlook for the next 2 weeks is positive. Most of the U.S. will see above-average temperatures, especially in the Northeast, delaying autumn's chill. Much of the country, including the Northeast and Southwest, will be drier than normal, good for some, but a concern for drought-prone areas. The Carolinas and southern Georgia will get much-needed rain, while the Pacific Northwest benefits from above-average precipitation. As hurricane threats fade, the nation can enjoy calm, sunny weather. We've navigated 2 powerful storms with minimal impact thanks to favorable steering patterns. The forecast promises a beautiful, tranquil start to October for most Americans. While vigilance is always needed during hurricane season, this chapter ends on a high note.